we spoke a lot yesterday about several topics, but before we even going to touch them, because I don't want to give any hint, maybe after the first or second example. Let's look at this game. I mean, I think this is one of the simplest, or at least one of the first examples that I've seen regarding this topic, and I always thought it is fascinating. Let's look at the structure for a second. Which opening this position came from? Just if someone has any idea. This is, of course, not the topic, but just general question. It came from the Caro-Kann, exactly. It came from the Caro-Kann, the H5 line, exchange. Okay, white is better. Well, white is.
Excuse me, can you do control 2?
Control 2. Okay, excellent. White is better. The bishop is better than the knight. G7 is fixed, right? This is why we play this H5 and so on. White has 3 against 2. White has several advantages, but it should be a long game when 2 results are really on the table. Either a draw or white will win, and white is, of course, way better. Black played rook d6. White played f4. I think the idea is g5 and playing against the h-pawn. I don't want to make any more comments. I will just suggest knight f6. Knight f6, well, maybe is a wrong move. The question is why? Why would this move be wrong? What should white play here? Non-grandmaster's answer. G5, okay. But G5, okay, I will take H6. So this is the idea, right? Okay, good idea. So I won't take. So I will take this one. Now what? Yeah, but I have a rook. You're very bishop g7 right here, right? But two reasons why it's not working. One, I can just simply take on g5. Yeah. But the second one, I do have a rook. If there was no rook, yeah, you are correct. This is the only square that the knight cannot stop the pawn out of the square, right? I mean, if we have to, let's draw this beautiful square. I will draw it with an alt, I guess. Okay, this is the only square black to play, cannot stop the pawn. So you're correct, but we have a rook here and the game is finished. Right. So, g5, yeah, many people say g5, but knight take h5 or whatever. Okay, but it just means that maybe our topic for the lecture today is a very good one. Okay, I will take back, I guess. And then?
After that?
F5. F5. Okay. I can take. I mean, well, let's see. Take, this move. Okay, I'll take. I don't think black is worse, actually, anymore. I want to play rook f4. Forget about this one, but I want to go here. Maybe white is worse. I don't know. Just looking at it super quickly, I think I take black here. Okay, so not this one. There are other moves in the position. Boss.
I don't even know if I'm right.
Of course you're right.
Of course I'm right. It seems like with the rook on d6, very suspicious because it can't move sideways. So if we take the knight and play rook d1, it looks like we'll get fast pawns on both sides and you'll win. Because g5's coming, and if the king runs all the way over there, it's possible. Just play d4 and win.
Black resigned. Yeah, resigned. 1.5 moves.
The king in pawn was pretty winning for white.
Of course. Of course. The idea is this. You know, I remember I was analyzing with Yermolinsky in one of our ICC, and always, as a habit, always looking for the most forcing lines. It was in an endgames. And you know, and I was very happy when Yermolinsky told me, you know, that's Kasparov's approach. Oh, I said, okay, that's not bad company, but that's everyone's approach. We spoke yesterday about forcing moves, about all the ideas that we want to be able to, well, basically anticipate what will happen without any distractions, right? 1 line, 2 lines. I don't want to look at 30 possibilities every move, right? That's insane. That trillion calculations per second won't even touch the surface. It's nothing. But here, all I needed to know is one thing. Let me look at the most forcing continuation. I take, you take, now I exchange rooks. I don't know if this is winning or not, but I know that I forced elimination of all the pieces. Now, if this is winning, it doesn't matter who is black. It doesn't matter. It can be Carlsen, Anand together with everyone. It's over. I mean, this is a position that a beginner, 1,000 player, 15, doesn't matter. As long as he understands what Ben just said, it's over, right? White will exchange the rooks, will play g5. Black will manage to get with his king on time, but then white will play b4, b5, create a pass pawn here. Let's see pretty much how we get it done. Take, king d6, king e7. Okay, excellent. The king stopped the pawns. And black has 2 connected pawns in the center. If he had rooks, it would be better. Put a rook on c8, put a rook on c3. I don't know, maybe, well, probably not better, but black would be okay. The only thing is that here, white just makes a queen. So, you know, black was a very decent player. Resigned without, you know, after rook d1, just resigned. Now, the fact that we are sitting here, some experts and modern experts, and g5 was the first move, and then capture an f5, which means that, well, probably it's a very, very, very good topic, because it doesn't matter, really, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. We will see examples of world champions, of strong grandmasters, simple examples like this, and some of them very complicated examples. If we can force exchanges, there is no way out. It's not a position that you say, wow, computers say it's -3 or +3, but it's so complicated. That's it. That's it. So the importance of exchanges in the end, there is no way back. You exchange the last piece into a wrong endgame, no way back. Let's look at several other examples. Okay. We have 2 of the best players in the world at that time, right? Larsen, Gligorich. And this is the position.
Control 2.
Again, my goodness, that's more complicated than I thought. Okay. And it's amazing because in one move, basically everything is off the board. And then there is a question. You know, there are 9, 10, 3, 5. White has 17, 18, you know how much you want to count it, points of material. Black has the same. But white managed to automatically, super express, go into an endgame. Well, take. What now? Now comes rook take check. Okay, rook take check. And I will take with my king. And then what? Bishop take. And then I will move my bishop.
King takes bishop because the queen's part.
Right. So I will take here, and I will take here. And okay, and now, well, by the way, connecting to yesterday, what did we have? We have check, 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 and capture, right? So we know that we basically, it's not 4 moves ahead, it is 2 seconds ahead, right? That's the right approach. And what is this endgame? Well, looks good for white, I don't know. It's a pawn endgame. White has 2 against 1, so he will create a pass pawn here, and then we'll win over there. Look pretty simple, let's see. Here, here. But there were tiny bit complications here, tiny bit. Okay, b3 of course only move. There was one actually super sneaky part here with if he plays c5 quickly, it's just gets tiny messy, but okay, always pushing the pawns first is easier, right? Because they are more advanced. Take, take, h4. Yeah, and here I think, well, let's see, he had to play like, did he play some king f4 something, or something like get the opposition, let's see. Yeah, he played something like this, and now c5, king f4 now, yeah. We are not here to analyze pawn endgames. Our assumption was that the pawn endgame is winning. I guess he didn't go for this pawn because black would go for this one. But we are not here. No, pawn endgames have their own respect. But here black just resigned. Because white is just much, 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 much faster. So look how we started this position. Queen, rook, bishop on the board. And basically, in one move, white got into a pawn endgame. So when we have the possibility to force exchanges, now not all of them go into winning pawn endgames, right? We have seen, and that's why I put this position exactly after the other. Yeah, those are the most dominant one. We just take a position, move it into pawn endgame. If it's winning, that's it. It can go to some other parts. For example, let's look at one nice position. I will choose, oh, you know what? Okay, let's stay in the pawn endgame. Let's stay in the pawn endgame, and we will look at this one. We'll go there slowly. Okay. Rook e1.
Is this Lombardi Fischer?
Exactly, very nice. So, well, it's clear that black, okay, of course black has been better for a long time, right? He's up material, and this bishop is not, well, not the prettiest one out there, but, you know, there aren't so many pieces on the board, and the bishop is holding, you know, he's protecting the pawns quite well. But, well, why rook e1 is a mistake?
Rook c3 followed by rook e5.
And why would black be winning this endgame?
Then after the king takes on e1, you can play d5, fixing the pawns.
No, but b5 anyway would not fix the pawns because the pawn is on b7, right? So, I mean, you mean white will play, oh, you mean black will play b5?
Yeah, fixing the queenside pawns.
The first aggressive move in your life, that's
What did you say, Ben? It's the first what?
all.
Something. All right.
First time I've ever seen it.
Not b5. What? a6. So why? You know, in the previous example, just the previous one, Larsen against Gligorich, why white was winning that endgame? Because he created an outside pass pawn. So our idea will be that after take, king here, take. First of all, you know, without much thinking, I want to put this king here. King d5, king c4. then white will be with his king somewhere there. If I will play b5, there might not be win anymore. There will be no win because I will play king d2. Why would there be a win in that position? I'll just play king d2, king c2. You go here, d5, I will go to d3. But when the kings are here, I will play this tiny b6. I will play a5. We will exchange. I'll move my pawn. You will take. I'll take. And I go here. I don't know, 15 moves. But, okay, for someone like Fischer, maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Well, maybe less, maybe more. Not important, right? Because it's one line. It's like, it's like walking from here to there. That's it. Here the king is there, b6. I'll push the pawns. I mean, it doesn't actually have to do that, but it's just playing probably just like a computer, so the pawns are a bit more advanced, but I don't think it made any difference. So that's it, right? We explained it in one line. We exchanged, we went into a pawn endgame, we created an outside pass pawn. There were many pieces on the board. This is our third example, I believe. We are 20 minutes in the show. Next time, when each one, I want to think, see a position and see a possibility to exchange all the pieces. Right, wrong, winning or not winning. This is the first instinct. What happens if I eliminate all the noise, simplify the position to the maximum I can? If it's winning, that's it. That's it. So let's look at the position that maybe tiny bit different. Because we will go back to those types of positions, but I want to see position that is tiny different and, well, I think maybe more difficult as well. Okay, this is Hubner against Karpov, world champion in 1977 at that time, and Hubner was one of the strongest players in the world, a German player. Okay, well, just normal position, and so on. Check. Oh, wait. This is a different level of position. It is black to play here. I will give you several minutes to think in this position. I think that black might be better, but it might not be extremely clear. I mean, okay, black has, again, our usual 2 against 1. His king looks tiny bit prettier than white, but okay, nothing really dramatic. It looks like, but maybe it's wrong. Maybe it is a bit dramatic. So, all right. If we have any ideas or suggestions, we're at least open to hear.
I was thinking b5.
b5. Okay, that's a logical move. I mean, maybe I will play knight e4 or knight b3 maybe. Well, let's look at it on the board. Okay, you'll play b5. I'll play this move. I mean, I get counterplay, knight on c5, e4. I mean, I'm not so certain about weakening the c5 square at all. Well, it's maybe okay, but I wouldn't like b5. I mean, if we were just having minor pieces, probably b5 is actually a good move, because if they are just minor pieces, then b5 fixes this pawn and so on. But there are rooks on the board and pieces are active. E4. Sorry?
e4. Or e5 rather.
E5 for black. Okay, E5. And wow, okay, E5. If e5, I'm not certain what I would play. I mean, maybe I will just play like e4, the knight will move, and then d4. Maybe something like this. I mean, okay, e5 is a decent move. I mean, it is an okay move. But obviously not the one that I'm looking for, and more importantly, not the one that Karpov played.
Bishop h6.
Bishop h6. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, bishop h6, and again, I will just to drill it in your heads a bit more. Back to yesterday, right? It's a forcing move. It's attacking the knight. So without, first of all, playing it on the board, which moves white can, should play after bishop h6? Which move?
F4.
But you cannot play f4 because there is check and take. So f4 is impossible.
E3,
Why you can't play e3?
bishop take,
Pawn take, king moves, and take on f1. And that's quite a lot of material. Okay. So what can you play?
D3.
Yes.
Rook f, d1.
Rook f d1. Okay. So we are here, and you play rook f d1. Okay. I will take.
Good move.
Bishop takes, you need to play. And then I will play something powerful that I don't know yet, but I will find something. Knight c3. Knight c3, maybe rook e1.
Yeah, rook c8 looks good.
Yeah, rook c8 maybe. Then white actually has one move not to resign. Rook c8, white has one move not to resign. He has to play knight b3. We can look at that. In the game e3 was played, we are suggesting this move. Yeah, maybe this is a better possibility. Take. I mean, the question is white surviving here or not? It's actually not clear. It's not clear because I can, for example, play. Let's start with knight c3. This move again. I'm following absolutely the most forcing moves I can see. Knight a2. So now you can play e3. But if e3, you're going to have a big problem, I think. I'm going to play rook c8. If knight b3, I think I'm winning a piece here. And if bishop b2, I don't think it is much different, right? I'm going to play here, here, and here. So there is a little bit problema with this move e3. And if knight b3, okay, minimum I think I can take, rook here, and win this pawn. Or maybe I'm not going to win it immediately. Maybe you have knight b3. And if rook c3, rook b1, maybe I'm not winning the pawn immediately. But probably I will be winning it. Something like rook c2 and rook a2. I think this is tough for black. For white, sorry. Not easy how to defend the pawn there. Again, king f1 and rook a2, you have rook a1. But okay. It's very, I mean, I'm trying to see by force if black can absolutely win this one. Maybe something like this. But this is okay, less clear than I wanted to get it. I mean, maybe big advantage for black, but less clear than I wanted. Just want to see if I have anything better here. Well, maybe not. We played here a knight to b3. Take. Rook c1, knight here. Oh, I'm sorry? Yeah, maybe rook c2 immediately, right? So we will attack this one, and then rook b2 and rook a2. It looks like white should lose this pawn somehow. To where? Yeah, but why do I want the bishop there? I mean, it will be blocking the rook. Actually, if I want to move the bishop, I will be thinking to move it here, and then rook a2, or first kick the knight. I mean, this is probably advantage slash big advantage for black, one of those lines. Maybe there's even something better. Somehow I feel there might be something even more. Let's look for a second at rook c8. So rook c8 has a forced threat, right? We want to take and basically win. e3 now totally loses the game, right? I mean, that's nothing to discuss. So knight b3 is our only move to play. I mean, take on c1 will be better for black. Rook c3 will be better for black. I mean, okay, no big doubts that white is worse here with this pawn on a3, but yeah, maybe, I mean, okay, this is probably not pretty. b5 is coming, let's say rook a1, b5, but maybe that was a better choice. Unless we are overlooking some immediate tactics, but maybe that was a better choice. Well, let's just see. You know, if we are going to be lazy for a second, let's see if computer finds any false win. Okay, what computer says, let's see. Okay, that was actually the last line that we mentioned. Yeah, better than the other one. Take. Knight c3, rook e1. Okay, so he wants to go here. Knight b3. Yeah, he wants just to go rook c3. Actually, he gives it 6/10, half a pawn better, but not enough. He wants to go to the endgame. Okay, because the a pawn won't be defended. This was also one assumption that we had. Just go to the endgame, that a pawn. Okay, so this is not dramatically saving black, but it's clear that it's bad position either way. So e3 was played. And now we already know, right, that from a position that looks complicated, a lot of pieces on the board, everything disappears suddenly. The problem is that rook c2 is winning. This is the big difficulty. If white could keep somehow the rook, he would always get counterplay. If you eliminate the rook, let's say you have a rook fighting against two minor pieces and you have some pawns. If you eliminate the rook, no chance for counterplay. Knight take is forced, because rook take rook c2. Okay, that's over. I mean, okay, he just went for the a pawn. Not dramatically much to see. I mean, okay, went on and won the game. Maybe there was even a better way to play for black. That's not so our job here to decide exactly how he should have played, but that's how the game finished. But it's another position that out of nowhere black managed to force a lot of exchanges basically into a dramatically favorable position. Another example of Karpov, and this is tricky, I'm telling you. I put it exactly, I want to show that position exactly after the previous one. Another example of Karpov, and this time against Susonko. Let's get back into our rotation, and we will get into our training mode, and we will do the most difficult part of the evening, the control 2. We'll be ready to go. Alrighty. The Catalan. Okay. Alrighty, beautiful. What exactly to play here with black? Again, I want to give, well, let's give you 2-3 minutes here. How exactly should black continue this position? All right, if we have any ideas, I mean, I really want just people to get tiny bit to the position, think by themselves, and yes.
All right, I'll try one. I've been wrong every time so far. Bishop CA with the idea of A5 and then bishop to come to A6 and attack the knight to go to D2 or whatever.
You're not wrong anymore. You're losing your touch.
You're losing it. That's very rarely I put this position and get this as the first move. I mean, even to some decent player, yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Very, very nice. You know, some people say, you know, I want exchange. So then they play bishop d5, which is even worse, I think, which is even worse. For example, after bishop d5, no, this is.
You tricked everybody because the other ones you trade and win, and here you.
And that's exactly why I put this one here. I could have done it in the end, but I'm going to tweak more. There will be more positions. Knight d3. I like actually white here, I think. Let's say a5. Bring the king. I mean, at some point I thought that this is big advantage, but not that easy. And I thought I can play knight f4 and force the pawn to move. But let's say this is, I feel maybe in white's advantage if I get d4. If I get, white's dream position is this. Let's start with this one. I mean, the problem is that some moves like bishop d4 are possible, but the dream position is this one. No, this black, forget about the bishop tactics. This is the dream position for white. Get the king, blockade. Oh, black is not going to hold this position, most likely. But there are some difficulties because some move like bishop d4 is possible. And actually now white should be careful about a pawn on a2, right, in some position like this. So maybe bishop d5 is possible. I think I would prefer white there, but maybe I'm wrong. Bishop takes g2. Okay, nothing dramatic here. I mean, bishop d4. Again, I like white. I mean, king f3, king e4. I will play b3. Fix the pawn on a5. Well, maybe black will make a draw, but black is suffering here. But bishop c8, it's such a genius move. You know, it's like, it's kind of simple to, let's say, above some level, strong players, right? You know, no exchanges is also a decision, right? We have two bishops. The advantage is going to be extremely, you know, I remember, again, in commentary with Yermolinsky, when I was analyzing with Peter Svidler, that was really, really cool. Bishops, you know, they are, on move 50, you really see their big strength. You know, you hold them like, I don't know who said it, like, you know, they're like pocket aces. At some point, you know, you play them. Hopefully, you play them okay. But in this position, no, it's exactly the way you suggested happen. Exactly, including putting some pressure against the pawn on e5. I mean, we can.
He always resigns before move 50. Then what?
Oh, but now he's going to change it, right? With this bishop c8, that's the game changer. No, because this is white. It took black another 20 moves or something like this to win, but a5. You suggested it. Bishop d4. f5. This is actually a very good move because the bishop here is very cool, and this blockade, if the bishop moves, well, the knight has no defender, and by capturing, well, black gets something in the center. He will have the possibility to kick white. But I think g4 was played, right? It's important not to allow easy f5 for black. Okay, bring the king. You know, if we're there, let's give this endgame 2-3 minutes of respect. Bring the king. The bishop on c8 doesn't need to move yet. Move. Okay, I don't know if this endgame is winning or not. It's not really important. It's not. The topic was, like Ben said, okay, you know, exchanges are great, forced exchanges are great, but also no exchanges is as big decision as exchanging. We will see more examples, but towards the end. Bishop back. Okay, finally this white played f5 many moves ago. Okay, and now it's become quite clear that if the knight cannot stay on d3, white will not be able to hold the position because black is just going to bring his king. I think he resigned here, but why did he resign here? Let's see.
Bishop D3 to B1.
Bishop d3 and to b1 is one possibility. Yeah, there are some in some positions. I remember there are also knight e3 some tricks with f4 and pinning in, but bishop d3 b1 is the easiest possibility. I just wanted to be certain that indeed he resigned here. Yes. Okay. So in this position it was winning by no exchanges. Okay. Now let's look at much more complicated positions. This line is amazing because it's a game that Karpov lost in 15-16 moves to Anderson in a rapid game, and it was all played in this position. I think that if I remember here knight a5 was played and Karpov's game was knight b4. You know, we will take 5-10 minutes pause from this just to show something super duper cool. So let's see, this is played from one of the greatest tournament that was played. It's the Candidates Tournament in Zurich in 1953. All right, they played this Boleslavsky against Kotov from Think Like a Grandmaster Kotov. All right, and this line, by the way, I don't think is so cool for black, just in principle too. I played this line actually with black, the Queen's Gambit exchange, which is an interesting line, but to take quickly and allow rook coming to d1, I don't think this is such a cool line. Okay, this position. If I'm not mistaken, knight a5 was played. Karpov game, knight b4 was played. Now, what should white play here? Again, I know it is 5 minutes off the main topic, but it's worth it. So, I want to see some hands and some ideas how to play with white. Okay, it's a move, but okay. Bishop take e6 is one move. Which move? d5 is another move. Okay. I mean, maybe one of them is right. Maybe they are both right. But you know, if you remember from yesterday, it was 24 hours ago. Then moves don't mean anything to me, right? You want to tell me something, then tell me. I play this, you will play that, I'll play this, that. And then we will see what we have.
Bishop e6, f e6, queen e6, rook f7, knight e5.
Okay, bishop d5. Okay, so we will take here, this move, bishop d5, take. Well, black is okay there. I mean, you get rook and 2 pawns, but I get mighty blockade and, I don't know, maybe white's, no, probably black should be really okay in that position. Black will be okay after bishop d5. Actually, maybe I cannot play bishop d5. I'm sorry. Take. If bishop d5, you take. Bishop d5 not working because knight take f7. So I will have to play queen f8. Sorry. If take, I take here first. That's what I will play. No, because the other line is just not working for black. I take on f3, I think. If take on f3.
What about d5?
d5? Okay, what about it?
Knight takes d5.
Black controls this square. Let's see how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 times I have, or black, have defenders there. So d5, okay.
I spot the bishop on d7.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, the game is over. It's amazing, over after d5. It's unbelievable.